So, bam, today we made roast, crockpot roast, string beans, carrots, mashed potatoes, and some Hawaiian rolls. Let me tell y'all something. These ingredients, let me tell you, when they go on top of that dang on roast, baby, it is the diggity bomb. Okay, let me tell you something. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. They be sitting there talking about some, oh, bell peppers is boys and girls, and we don't know which one we cutting up. And then, that onion, I don't know which side to cut. I know if I use that side, my eyes be watery, it be burning. I don't know. So I just go ahead and use this side, okay? It's best to use this side. But you want to know something? I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all a story. But before the story, I don't even like. I love garlic, but I'm not. I like. I don't know how to really cut the garlic. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta go ahead. That mug fat and juicy, and you gotta go ahead and rinse that bad boy off. Okay. Sometimes I be thinking like, why is we rinsing it off when we sitting there eating it anyway? But I gotta cut. I gotta rinse it off because it was like stuff all over it. You know what I mean? You gotta rinse it off. You just got to. So then I went ahead and started, seasoning my meat. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, in the process, once upon a time, it was this girl. Let me tell y'all about this girl. This girl, she was a beautiful girl. The girl was married twice. You know what I'm saying? She done been through some things. She done been through a lot in her life, right? And the things that she went through, like she realized that what I love about her is she realized that things that she went through was by choice. At first she was like, well, dang, why is this always happening to me? And I had to literally tell this girl, like, this is your life. This is what you chose. You know what I mean? Like, so with her first marriage, things was great. She had a baby at 16. The girl ended up finishing, high school. I was proud when she walked across that stage with her son. You know what I'm saying? But she did that shit, y'all. She really, really did it. Anyway, she ended up getting married at 18. Everything was going really, really great for her. She wanted to go into the military, but the guy had suggested that he should go into the military instead of her. Now, she wanted to go into the military because her father was military. So she really wanted to live out that dream. She never wanted to be a nurse or anything like that. I don't know why she didn't want to be a nurse. She was around people that had ambition, but she just really wanted to do the military. But she ended up going into the medical field. She started off working for the mentally ill, and then she ended up going back to school, getting her stuff. But anyway, through the process of her time of being in her first marriage, she was going through a lot of stuff. This girl done tried to commit suicide. She done tried to, it was just a lot, and it was sad, the things that she had went through. And I didn't understand it at that time because I was trying to tell her, like, everything is going to be okay. This is just your journey. But she just did not listen. She just was like, whatever they was going through in their marriage, you know what I mean? She ended up getting over it. She had another child. And the crazy part is she ended up getting pregnant during the marriage. And I was like, how did you do that? Like, why would you do that? And she was like, it's either STD or a baby, and so she learned from that marriage. She was like, she'll never cheat on anybody else again. Now, the reason why she was cheating was because he was cheating. So it was like they were young. But actually, when she turned, like, I think it was 24 when I spoke to her, this girl, she was like, I learned my lesson. And I was like, I hope you did learn your lesson, baby, because it is not worth it. Turned out the guy stopped, the guy really never took care of the kid anyway, and it was just like she was going through a whole lot of stuff. Like, the guy will only come around for money. It was just crazy, and she never like went through nothing like that, because she never experienced, because she was just married. But the guy will only come around when he needed something. And so she began to stay single for 5 years. This girl was single for 5 years, and then she ended up meeting her second husband. Now, when she met her second husband, she thought that everything was going to be great. Everything was gravy. And the crazy part is she started seeing signs and symptoms of domestic violence, but she never knew what it actually was. Now, she been involved in domestic violence from growing up and seeing things in, not her household, because her parents never went through that, but seeing things in her household of her former husband household. And the crazy part is she never knew that subconsciously that it would come into her life. Well, it did. And the crazy thing is she used to judge her family member. Like, she had a family member who went through domestic violence, and she used to literally judge that girl, like, why you won't call the police? Why you won't just whoop his ass? Like, this girl was like so judgmental in that subject. And then she found herself in that situation. I talked to the girl, And one of the things that she told me was, she was like, she learned from her experience. She learned that never judge a person. And I was like, well, it's not the fact that you judging a person, it's the fact that this is what you would never go through. And she was like, I thought that I would never go through it, but in reality, we don't know what we would go through, in that situation. In that situation, that girl has went through a lot. Girl done lost weight. Girl done had babies. Girl done lost babies. I mean, I'm not talking about stillbirth, or I'm not talking about miscarriages. This girl done had kids that done died, okay? And it was so sad. She didn't have nobody around. Of course, she stayed out of state from her hometown, but when she went back to her hometown, she told me that it didn't matter if she was there or not. It still would have been the same result. This girl had nobody, okay? Nobody. Nobody to give her advice, nobody to help her with her situation, nobody. This girl was literally out there by herself. And the crazy part is, like, don't that roast look good, y'all? That roast looks so good. But anyway, the crazy part is when she was going through her transition, and everything that she had been through, it was people that was just literally trying to downplay her. I mean, they took advantage of her situation. You would have thought that this girl would have been, like, tried to commit suicide yet another time, or should have been on some type of mental medication or something, because they really tried to come for her. People done called CPS on this girl, and they was talking about, oh, we doing it for the children. And it was just sad. She went through domestic violence, and it was mentally, physically, and emotionally. She was never on drugs or anything. She wasn't a prostitute. She don't just give her body to any old man. But the thing is, what I loved about her is she really learned from her situation. And the thing is, she came out, and she came out mentally strong. All those people that tried to break this woman, they couldn't break her, including the second husband she was with, including the baby daddy. She found out about a lot of things. This girl then found out who was not in her corner. She found out that all these people that claimed that they was there for her, these people wasn't there for her. These people was only there to gain what they can get, because the girl was soft. The girl was hard, but she was soft. Like, she was so giving and so sweet. Damn, that roast look good, y'all. Look how tender it is. But she was so soft and she was so sweet, y'all. And everybody just literally took advantage of that. She would let people live with her, and they wouldn't pay no rent. She would no rent, no bills, wouldn't even want to watch her kid. You know what I'm saying? And they would just live up in this girl's house and wouldn't help out to do shit. Everybody would call her when they needed something, but she had nobody to call. She had nobody to call. And I was feeling like, I'm like, dang, that's bold. I was trying to help the girl, but the girl just was on her own agenda. She just did not listen. She did what she wanted to do. And so I sat back and I allowed her to do what she wanted to do. And one day she came to terms and she was like, enough is enough, and she done. And I am so proud of this woman today. This girl take care of her children by herself, and she do everything by herself. She don't have no man around, no man involved. And I told her that, because she one of those people, oh, I never fall in love again. But I had to explain to her, like, you being selfish to yourself. Like, love always exists. It's just the men that you dealt with. So the thing that I love that she told me was, the people that I dealt with was only a reflection of me. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? She said they were a reflection of her. And she said it was some things inside of her that she had to deal with. And she dealt with it. And she proud of it. And she don't regret anything in her life. And when I tell y'all, this girl is the strongest person that I know. She is the strongest person I know. I cannot believe how good this plate looked, y'all. I mean, I made those mashed potatoes like a G, okay? Everything was from scratch, including the string beans, okay? Including the carrots. You could tell it ain't canned. Period. You could tell those mashed potatoes ain't in the box. Period. But y'all, this girl's story is immaculate, okay? It is like, I want her to write a book, but she just ain't started the book yet. And, I be asking her, like, when are you going to tell your story? And she just be like, it ain't really nothing to tell. We all go through it. We all go through things. We all been married. We all been divorced. We all go through pain. We all go through pleasure. If y'all like this video and this story time, give me thumbs up, comment below.